Well, during the offseason, the Mets signed left-handed starter Sean Manaea to a free agent contract reportedly worth over $28 million over 2 years. The 31-year-old is now part of the new look Mets starting rotation. But Manaea actually looks different himself. A few weeks after my one-on-one interview with Manaea, the 6'5" veteran cut his long curly hair, and he got a close shave as well. And the result? 4 shutout innings against the St. Louis Cardinals. He allowed 2 hits while striking out 5. So maybe it was the hair. But what Manaea and I do discuss is why he chose the Mets, his historic moment in baseball history, his family's roots, and how different New York is from California.
A lot of big buildings and taking the subway and yeah, just a different cultures. Yeah, I'm really excited for that. I mean, California is very chill and you know, easygoing. So I've only been in New York where we played the Yankees and Mets, so I don't really know too much about it. But excited for.
Ever take the subway when you were in for a game?
Yeah, I've done it a couple times. So
all right, so you're already an expert.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that, but I've done it a couple times. So
what attracted you to the New York Mets?
History. You know, team, the position players, the pitchers. You know, getting to work with them. I've heard a lot of good things about the staff, the coaching staff, and all that. So. Yeah, I mean, just excited for a new adventure on the other side of the states.
This is the pitch usage from last outing. 56% that power fastball, or last season, excuse me, and then he goes to that sweeper slider, and then his changeup is a weapon mostly to righties, but he's been dabbling pitching that against lefties too.
Are you a technology guy, or how do you work on and fix or hone in on your pitches during the off season?
Yeah, I used to not be a technology guy, like TrackMan stuff or anything like that, but as my career's gone on, I've definitely learned to use that and use it to my advantage. So why not if it's there, So it's pretty easy to identify what's going on just when you're able to like interpret it and look at the data and all that. It just makes it so much easier than like, oh, that felt good, or like if the feeling's here instead of here, like you can actually quantify it. So yeah, I learned that, and once I learned that, then it's been so easy to like, oh, okay, this thing's doing that, and I felt like that, then let's try that, and it has the right shape, and that makes it so much easier.
2-0 pitch, grounded to short, scooped up by Simeon. It's a no-hitter. It's a no-hitter. Sean Manaea has no-hit the hottest team in baseball, an absolutely sensational performance.
Your second year in the majors, you throw a no-hitter in April of 2018. What do you remember most about that game?
When I got the last out and everybody like swore me, it was like, just like a dome of like silence for like a second where it was like, oh my gosh, I did it, And after that, it was just pure chaos for like 15, 20 seconds. And yeah, then, went down in the history books, and that was obviously one of the coolest parts of my career so far.
I want to talk about your background a little bit. So your father's from American Samoa, came to Hawaii, but you didn't visit there until about 2014.
Mm-hmm.
So what was that like? How did that all develop for you to visit the American Samoa?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, my dad would talk about American Samoa, and I knew there was like a different part of me that I'd never visited and didn't really know about. He didn't really talk too much about like the culture and all that, but I was fascinated with it, and look up stuff on the internet, like, oh, this is what they do and this is what it looks like, and but we didn't really have money to go out there when I was growing up. So when I got drafted, that was like priority number one for me, was to take my dad and mom, and was going to take my brother, but he just enlisted in the Navy, so I couldn't take him. But yeah, to take him out there and have him show me around, and I got to meet my cousins for the first time, and see the house that my dad grew up in and all that stuff, and yeah, it was just a beautiful moment.
Did it change you? How did you connect with it when you landed?
Yeah, it was it was awesome. The island people are way different than folks in Indiana. Not that anyone's better or worse than the other, just different ways of life, So to see that for my own eyes, and to realize like that's a part of me, like that was really cool.
When did you start getting the Samoan symbols, the tattoos?
I started American Samoa, so it was 2014. I started with the half sleeve. Sulape Ricky Boy, he started out there, and then later that year he flew out to LA and was doing some guest spots and some tattoo shops. So I drove out to LA from Arizona, got did a whole weekend, and then came back, drove back that night, and then 8 a.m. on Monday I was working out, and I look back at those times like, wow, that was only something like a young person could do, you know.
Were you going to do it now?
Yeah, like getting tattooed for 11 hours and then getting in the car for 6 to drive back and then wake it. Yeah, it was just crazy, but
Worth it?
but worth it. Yeah,
So
I love my tattoo and you know what it represents and all that. So it's a beautiful one for me.
Coming up on Sports Extra, our Jennifer Williams heads out to a regional basketball tournament and catches up with one of the greatest New York Knicks of all time. Hear what Patrick Ewing has to say about these current Knicks, the Big East, and more next.